Materiality for investors and for companies for years has meant financial materiality. What are the things that are impacting our organisation financially? But what Future-Fit has always been focused on, of course, is the other side of the coin. How are you impacting planet and society through what you're doing? And again, fantastically, the taxonomy talks about impact materiality. It was previously called social and environmental materiality, and they've shortened it to be more catchy, impact materiality. So again, here we have a legislative body that's saying, actually, you need to be thinking outside in, but also inside out. And for Future-Fit, we've spent 8 years defining, according to system science, what impact materiality actually looks like. So in a way, it's great. We didn't know that we were creating something that legislation would then sort of catch up on. So obviously what we're hoping is that we can give this into our methodology into the legislation. It won't be that simple, as you well know, but hopefully they will pick up elements of this, and more importantly, that companies or organisations will start using our framework and say, this is how we are addressing this idea of the impact materiality. But the legislation saying leaders must be thinking inside out and outside in. How you go about doing that, the legislation will provide some guidance. But the fact that we can then come in as the Future-Fit community and say, hey, we've already thought about this side of things. The business world already knows a lot about financial materiality. It doesn't need much more adding there. But we can just come in as a community and say, we've got a big part of the answer to this side of the equation. And then as things evolve over time, there's this idea of dynamic materiality as things start to move from one side to the other. So things that today are not financially material start to become financially material. Carbon taxes, waste taxes, disruption to supply chains, all these types of things suddenly start to become financially material as well as impact material. So by having this framework, you start to take account of all of these things. You understand the risks, you're building them in. That's building resilience into your business. If you got to that point of true full circularity, you wouldn't care if a waste tax comes along, because you'd be saying, doesn't cost us anything. In fact, that's a competitive advantage to you at that stage. So the more we can do to encourage the legislation to raise that floor as high as we possibly can, that's good for the planet and for society. But it also sends a positive signal. It rewards the companies and the organisations who are doing good things already, and it forces, hopefully then, the laggards to up their game, or ultimately to no longer exist. And that's the choice that they will have to face.